Good afternoon, everyone. How are you today? I know you can't answer that, obviously, but I'll just assume you're good since you're listening to this week's podcast. If this is your first time listening to Tori's Corner, we discuss women in society and we give advice on how maybe one day you can rule the world. I'm going to ask you to think about this question. If a woman isn't married by the time she is 30 or 40, why is she looked down upon in society? Well, we took this question to you guys. One of the answers that stuck out to me was society has a stigma that women are nothing but birth givers, that they should be married at a young age and made to have lots of children. I honestly think why this answer caught my attention was because this is what I have heard as a young female, that my job will be that when I grow up that I'll be a mom. Well, what if I don't want to be a mom? What if I just want to focus on my career? Well, I have another question to make you think about. What is your view on women being single and not married while they are in their 30s? Actually, another answer that stuck out to me was I think a relationship does not need to define a woman. I see many women who think or feel that they are worthless when they leave a relationship. I feel that a woman should not feel the desperation of a relationship to feel complete or valued in society. This answer is so true because actually some women will get married because they feel obligated, the pressure because of the pressures of society and maybe their family, and they might come to the realization that the relationship isn't healthy, and they finally get the courage to leave, which might make them feel worthless. I actually have recently read a short story called Sweat, which was about a woman who was abused by her husband and finally had enough of it, and she stood up for herself. One of my favorite quotes from the story is when the main character Delia states, um, just to warn you, it is in like a southern slang actually, so it might sound odd, but here it is. I hate you to the same degree that I used to love you. I done took and took till my belly is full up to my neck. That's the reason I got my letter from the church and moved my membership to Woodbridge, so I don't have to take no sacrament with you. Sorry if that was a little, not very well said, but this is one of my favorite quotes from the story because through the beginning, Delia lets her husband Psyche walk all over her. So it's actually amazing because towards the end, she learns to stand up for herself and she deals with the abuse. This relates to today's topic because sometimes a woman will get married without thinking, like we said before. And she actually will be, like we said before, pressured by her family and society, and she could actually be abused in the relationship. And when she gets the courage to leave, it might leave her in the mindset where she might not want. A few years back, to jump right into, I read another story called A Rose for Emily. This story is about a woman who was single for most of her life, and rumors circled around the village how she wasn't wanted by any man. But actually, her father turned away any man that tried to get to know her because he didn't want his finances ran by someone he didn't know. Um, the way that this story relates to today's topic is because even in the 1700s or the 1800s, women were looked down upon, and society had the stigma like we do today that we were supposed to be maybe baby makers, and that we should have been married by a young age, and that a man was supposed to run the relationship. But I think, honestly, us women are slowly coming out of that stigma. We are slowly coming out of that kind of reputation. And I think actually one day we will rule the world like our quote is and what we stand by. But if you are a woman that's in her 30s and 40s and you're happily married or in a committed relationship, that is so great. And I'm so happy that you're happy. But if you are single in your 30s and 40s, that is also great. And if you don't want to get married, then don't. Do not let the pressures of society pressure you into getting married or pressuring you to get into a relationship. Because honestly, you don't need a man, you don't need a partner. You are great being single. And whatever happens, happens. If you're meant to get married, then you will. Just remember, everybody here at Tori's Corner supports you no matter what. Well, I hope you all have a great rest of your afternoon, and just remember that you will rule the world someday.